Okay, now pulling this stuff off, let's see what we got to work with. All three of these blades combined, because these are thick blades, the Opinel blades, comes to right at 1/4 of an inch. Because when you measure the heads, and that's the thickest part, right there, it comes out to being dead on 1/4 of an inch thick. That will narrow down significantly out here towards the point. But I need a 1/4 inch wide gap at the back here to go down. Now at present, my gap is right there. At present, my gap is 1/8. So I have to just add a 1/16 on either side, or double the width of that to get that to fit in there. Now, let's see how it fits. We take the number 10 blade, we slide it in, put the cross pin in, like that, and it fits in there quite easily, no problems. We see that it also will drop down flush, which is good. I'm going to relieve this anyway to make room. So that one is going to be a fit and will drop down. And I'll notch this handle in here when I reshape the handle in a minute so I can get to the blade a little easier. The saw blade has a tab I got to modify, and I got to modify the length. But turning it upside down where it's more in correct shape for the moment, I'm able to put it in. He says like he knows what he is doing. There we go. And it's going to be about, I'd say, 1/2 inch long. But see, now you can see it's going to drop below flush too when the pin's in place. So this will lay down flush in the blade channel. What this will do, it will leave the original blade, which is the number 12 blade, proud. It will stand up. So I'm going to notch the handle in here for the finger notch, because right now it is flush almost with the finger notch. I'm going to notch that in right there, reshape the back a little bit, and drop this inner surface down just a little bit to make it easier to reach, while widening this notch. Now I'm going to widen this notch all the way across. I'm going to polish it, and I want all three of these blades to move without binding. So I'm actually going to remove just a grunt more wood, but I got plenty of wood there to work with. And so by doing that, I'll end up with something that I can easily take in and out with, rotate it, swing the blades out, pick the blade I want, close the blades, lock it. Real easy. That way I won't have to take my fingernails and dig them out. And that's the one problem I have had with Opinels, especially my number 10. And that was the reason I originally modified this, was because when this got wet, it swelled up so tight you couldn't open it. I mean, you grab it with a pair of pliers and it just wouldn't come out. So I modified this one originally to be able to open it up when it was wet. I'll hang on to this. I will find a little saw blade or something and put in here and make another knife out of this. Now, what we want to do now is we want to start laying in here and marking what we're doing. Now, of course, the original blade is going to drop right in like that. And that's how it is proud, standing up. About a 1/16 of an inch or less sticking up. And this blade, same thing, will, once I cut the tip off, deepen this notch a little bit, will drop right into the same profile. And then finally, the number 10 blade on this side will drop right in, and it won't have to go down so far. So what I want to do is put in my number 10 blade. I want to take my pen and I'm going to mark where the end of the number 10 blade comes to, right there. So I know that I only have to relieve wood on that side that far to make room for this blade to drop in. I'm going to taper it so that it drops in, and then the saw blade, and then this one. Now, removing that now, I'm going to drop back in the big blade, or as I like to call it, the campfire Ginsu. There. Now the finger notch is right here, and so I need to mark that for material to be removed to make openings. Okay, I've got it marked. Time to dig out the Dremel tool. Here's where we're at. Now I've spent the last, say hour working on this. And I know I said I was going to put a saw blade in there as well, but I have changed my mind. It'll be a little too tight, and the kerf of the saw will make it where it's difficult to pull it out between the two blades. I've opened up this channel in here and sanded it out where everything fits. I've also opened up the channel in the collar so that it fits. And I've beveled it at the four corners so that it will pop in and out easier. Now, we have the blades where they will go nail for temporary. Now, with those in position, this is where we're at. As you can see, both blades now fit into the slot. The big blade comes out easily. And to get the small blade out, you simply open up, grab it with your thumbnail, and pull out the small blade. I wouldn't call that small. Each one of them will go into position up front without any problem whatsoever. And then the locking ring will turn and index and hold them in position. And I'll give that a little tap. I think the original pin was kind of bent. Now, this little side-to-side play, I'm going to slide a little washer in there between them, I think, up here on the top, take care of that problem. And it does seem to work just fine, though. It comes back to the full position and locks in just fine. So, with my swivel collar back on, I'll be set. But I've got some more work I'm going to do to the wood, so I'm not fully done with it yet. But it locks up solid, it's smooth, it looks just like a regular one blade until you pull out and discover the other blade. And yeah, I probably could put the saw blade in there, but really, I think this is going to work out better. So, that's where we are.